You know that scene in 2001: A Space Odyssey where they're the opening shot, they're all staring at the monolith and then the monkeys stand up and they start to use tools and wave them around? That's where we're at right now with AI, specifically with model context protocol. It's a freaking huge deal. And I want to talk about why it matters because you're going to see a lot more in about 6 weeks. But if you're an early adopter, now is the time to get in. So it's super kludgy workflow right now. I'll put the link to kind of where you learn about it and get the GitHub and all of that. You have to manually edit JSON files to set up little servers that allow Claude on your computer to access other pieces of information. But already, even though it's clunky and janky, people are using it to do incredible things. I watched someone in 90 seconds use Claude to build a tiny little applet that types in to Google Maps a search, comes back with a complete clear list of open available lunch spots near his office. It's just amazing. You can do that in 90 seconds with the right implementation of MCP. People are just getting going. I saw someone else used a MCP server to figure out how to get Claude to query their SQL database. The sky's the limit. And that's really what I want to focus on, is that it's not the individual implementations. You don't want to know about lunch near someone's office? You don't have to. The point is not the app. The point is that the context protocol, the MCP, gives you the ability to put any tool in the hands of Claude. You can imagine it. Increasingly, Claude can imagine it. It can exist. That's how easy it is. We are at a point now where we can say, Claude, can you build a tool for this? And we explain to it what needs to be in the JSON file and sort of how the server works. And Claude can figure it all out. You just stick the JSON file in the particular correct place in the file directory, and you're off to the races. And if you think that this will not revolutionize how we use AI, you're missing the larger picture. Yes, we've had computer use already. Yes, we have specific applications that are native to these chatbots already. Claude got analysis, ChatGPT got web browsing. Effectively, Perplexity is a special flavor of native use case for a large language model optimized for search. We're going to keep getting those individual use cases. There's a lot of opportunities for builders for those individual use cases. But the flexibility of something like MCP, the only analogy I have is it's like hypertext transfer protocol in the early 1990s. It's like in the Netscape Navigator days when HTTP was just becoming the ubiquitous way you get content on the web. Look at what that led to. That unlocked Google, that unlocked Amazon, that unlocked multiple trillion-dollar companies. The ability to give AI a standard protocol for building and using tools is absolutely massive. And I would expect that Anthropic is going to make this much easier to use in the next few weeks. Editing a JSON file is not the way they want to do this long term. I think you're going to end up in a world with multiple classes of integration. You're going to see integrations that Claude considers native or ChatGPT considers native. I think the integration with Google Drive that Claude launched last week was a great example of that. It's first class. Their developers worked on it. It's native. People who have no idea what code is still can use Google Drive for that. And then you're going to see a second class that's really designed for people who are code curious, but not necessarily going to be ready to just write JSON themselves. And that class is going to give you the ability to do a whole lot more. Like, it should be able to give you a couple of clicks to Google Maps, a couple of clicks to email, a couple of clicks to a lot of other things where you can just add those in. And it's like a la carte sushi menu, right? Like, you just pull it off and it's delicious. And then the third option is going to be essentially a smooth experience where you can write as a developer and basically define the integration you want with a common language that allows you to specify putting and specify pulling data out in a defined manner. I use defined too many times. You get the idea. It's going to change the world. Tool use has come to AI, and if you couple that with the increases in intelligence, we are going to have a dramatically different 2025, but it will be limited to people that are able to play with these tools, understand their power, and use them. There will still be a whole class of people who just use it as a chatbot and have no idea all the muscle under the hood. It's like putting a sports car into first gear. You got to let the clutch out. You got to get to fifth gear. Anyway, there you go. I think Model Context Protocol deserves a lot more attention than it's getting.